Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. My namaskaras to you all. Now, as we are traveling through the beautiful Kriti of Mangalashtakam by Shri Rajarajeshwara Tirtha Sripadangalavaru, let's have a quick recap of whatever we have seen. We started off with a praise to Shri Hari, to Bhagavan, and then we paid our respects to all the Devatas. Then we moved on to the great Rishis who gave us the wealth of knowledge, and then we stopped with our homage to the kings. Now, as I had already told in the previous video, we will be looking at some objects which are not considered living by us. Okay, they are all innate objects which we perceive to be without any emotions or any known intellect. They are mountains and rivers. Before I go into the shloka and into the intricacies, there is a fundamental question that we need to understand. People say that in Sanatana Dharma, in Hinduism, there are 33 crore gods and goddesses. What are they doing here? They worship 33 crore people. They worship trees, they worship mountains, they worship rivers, they worship bricks, walls, stones, leaves. Why? What is the fundamental understanding of this process? When I was delving deeper into this topic and when I was trying to find answers to these questions, I came across a beautiful incident which happened in the life of Jagadguru Sriman Madhvacharya. It seems when he was about the age of 10 or 11, he left his house to take sannyasa. And at that moment when he was leaving his house, it seems he was prostrating, he was doing namaskara to every object present in his house. He was going and doing namaskara to the pillar, he was doing namaskara to the door, he was doing namaskara to the trees, to the plants, and everybody around him, including his parents, were quite confused as to this behavior of Acharya. And there is another beautiful story with the same Acharya. It seems when he was younger than perhaps when he took sannyasa, he was playing with a ball. And in Sanskrit, a ball is kanduka. And you might ask, what is a bat? I have no idea. Usually we can say it's a phalaka because a bat is a wooden plank. So the Bharatiya Kanduka Phalaka Krida is happening. I tried something. The IPL has started. I hope all of you are enjoying that. Anyway, coming back to our topic, the Acharya who was playing with that ball, it seems he could see Bhagavan in it and started reciting the Kanduka Stuti. The Stuti itself goes in a pattern, in a chandas that will come if you are playing catch with someone else. It is like Ambara Ganga Chumbita Pada Hapadatala Vidalita Gurutara Shakata Hakali Yanaga Kshvena Niham. It goes on like this. So that's the beauty of Acharya, and that's the beauty of our ancestors who were able to see God in everything. They were able to perceive the presence of the divine in the minute things that they that helped them carry on with their days. So that is the respect we gave every object in our lives, and that is where we will draw inspiration to understand why we worship mountains and rivers. Before I go into that and into the rivers, we will first listen to the shloka by Shri Rajarajeshwara Tirtha Sripadangalavaru. We will listen to both the shlokas pertaining to the mountain and to the rivers, and then we will come back to the understanding of why mountain and why rivers. Shri Merur Himavanscha Mandaragirihi Kailashashailastatha Mahendro Malayascha Vindhyanishadhau Simhastatha Raivataha Sahyadrirvaragandhamadanagirir Mainakagomantakav Ityadya Bhuvi Bhudharascha Pratidinam Kurvantu no Mangalam. Ganga Sindhu Saraswati cha Yamuna Godavari Narmada Krishna Bhimarathi cha Phalgu Sarayu Shri Gantaki Gomati Kaveri Kapila Prayaga Kitija Netravati Tyadayo Nadya Shri Haripada Pankaja Bhava Kurvantu no Mangalam. Yes. Now that we have tuned in with Rajarajeshwara Tirtha Sripadangalavaru and then we are done listening to his shloka, There is not much to explain in this, you would have understood. It is just a list of mountains, a list of rivers. It doesn't have any intricate details in it. It doesn't have anything that I need to go deeper into, which I need to split and explain. There is not much. Anyone can understand the shloka. It starts off with Meru, Himavan is Himalaya, Mandaragiri, Mainaka, Gomantaka, and goes on to Sahyadri, Simhachala, and then we have the reference of the rivers that we know from the Puranas also. There is Mainaka, which came when Hanuman was going from this part of India to Lanka, and Hanuman had to hug that mountain to go to the other side. And then there is Meru, which is mentioned as the northernmost tip of the Jambudvipa. Jambudvipa is the landmass in which our country Bharata is. So though we exactly don't know if this correlates with the geography that we understand today, but in the Bhagavata, this is the map that is given. Jambudvipa is one big continent in which there is a khanda, there is a Varsha called Bharata Varsha. In that we have Bharata Khanda. So that's how our ancestors have understood geography, and it seems Meru is that huge mountain in the northernmost tip of this is Jambudvipa. And then you find Mandaragiri in that list. Mandaragiri was the mountain which was used to churn the Parkadal, the Milky Ocean, which the Devatas and the Asuras used to do, get their Amrita, and the poison came in the way, like it usually does. Anyway, now that is the list of the mountains. Rivers are pretty simple. We know all the rivers. It starts off with Ganga, that celestial river which was running in the Swargaloka. And there is something beautiful that Rajarajeshwara Tirtha Sripadangalavaru attributes mountains and rivers to. He says mountains are the Bhuvi Bhudharaha. They hold the earth in its plate systems. They act like pillars to earth. They hold it in its place. And the rivers are, it seems, they flow out of the feet of Bhagavan. They kind of wash his feet. And usually in our dharma, when you wash someone's feet, it is a mark of respect. You wash his or her feet, and then you take that water and sprinkle it on yourself and drink it probably. And that water that has cleansed the feet of a noble person is considered pure. Imagine a water that has cleansed the feet of Bhagavan, most purest form of water. Seems all the rivers, not only Ganga. Ganga has a Puranic reference that she is the water that has cleansed Bhagavan's feet when he took the Trivikrama Avatara. But Rajarajeshwara Tirtha Sripadangalavaru says all these rivers have cleansed the feet of Bhagavan. All this is the dharmic understanding of rivers and mountains. Now let me come to the question which I raised in the previous video. Why do we worship mountains and why do we worship rivers? To understand this, we need to have a fundamental understanding of civilization in history. You know, most of us would have read in our history classes in 4th and 5th or in our middle school that the Harappan civilization, the Indus Valley civilization, the Mediterranean civilization, the civilization in Egypt, all these were predominantly developing in the banks of a particular river, of some river. Let's take the Indus Valley civilization. It was the Sindhu river, the Indus. The Nile was the source for the Egyptian civilization. Similarly, every river has attracted human settlement. Why? Because it is pretty easy to live next to a river. The lands are very fertile, we can grow crops. So rivers in themselves were the cradle, the original cradle of our civilization. Even to this day, the most important cities in the country and in the globe are next to some or the other river. Let's take even Delhi is next to the Yamuna, and if you take London, it too is next to the Thames. So every city and every civilization has thrived in the banks of rivers, and these rivers have originated from the mountains. Look how beautiful it is. The mountains are the source of rivers, and the rivers have been the source of civilization. Isn't it right that we pay our respects to these two entities that have helped us so much? And there is one last point that I would like to say and end this video, is that in the Madhva Sampradaya there is a fundamental understanding that along with paying our respects to the mountains and rivers as they are, these shlokas and these names of the mountains and the particular rivers especially invoke that Abhimani Devata that is there for the river. What is an Abhimani Devata? An Abhimani Devata is a god which is protecting that particular mountain. So each mountain has one Abhimani Devata, each river has one Abhimani Devata. We pay our respects to that particular Chetana which is taking care of that river and which is providing life to us, and which is taking care of that mountain and provides life to the river. So this is the understanding of these two shlokas. In the next video, we will be looking more deeper into Rajarajeshwara Tirtha Sripadangalaguru's ideas about the texts and the literature present in our country, and then we will move on to some interesting topics, but they will come in due course. Until then, I hope you enjoy whatever is being shared, and I hope you continue to show support. Now I sign off. Shri Krishna Arpanamastu.